Hello everyone. At the beginning of next year, you're going to be receiving a Common Core transitional unit. You'll be getting one quarter one and then another one in quarter four. The reason why you won't be getting them at the end of this year is because many of you currently are teaching a combo, a 2-3 or a 4-5, and next year you could be teaching a straight fourth or second or what have you, or even be at a completely different site and different subject. But anyway, we just want to make sure that everyone has the correct units at the beginning of the year. However, these units will be up on my big campus over the summer, so I'll send out everybody a site or a link to that, so you'll be able to see the units. If you look here, these are the standard abbreviations, and there are some for elementary and some for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Basically, number in base 10 for elementary, that used to be number sense in the content standards. It's still place value, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. In 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, it is still number sense. So some things have changed, some things haven't, but basically, guys, the standard is still the math standard. 2 times 3 is still 6. The only things that may have changed with that concept is the acronym. If you look here, the unit contents, when you get the unit, you'll have the Westside text alignment, and I've aligned the textbooks that we currently have to the Common Core standards. So you'll have that. You'll have the quarter one unit itself. You'll have examples of the standards, which are called the unpacked standards. They're just explanations and examples so that you know what that standard's asking you to do. You'll have critical areas of focus. That's what's very important and emphasized in your grade level. The mathematical practices and sentence starters, we'll be getting or going over those in just a minute. But this is really, the mathematical practices are the rigor of the Common Core standards. Let's see, you'll have the objectives, the I can, I will statements. You'll also have a performance task. The performance task is like a culminating activity at the end of the unit. You'll also get resources electronically as well as a hard copy. And on the electronic copy of the unit, I have the lessons and activities linked, so you can just click on that link and it'll take you to a sample lesson or a sample activity. The resources and performance tasks right here, they're only examples, folks, so you can use them if you want to, adjust them to your style of teaching, or feel free to use your own creations. Just be true to that standard. The compiled math website I'll be giving you also is electronic, and you can click on, I think there's, probably 20 or so websites, and they're user-friendly. I've used them with making the units, and most of them are, if you just put in the standard and your grade level, it'll pop out a lesson for you or an activity for you or give you a further explanation of that standard. These are the mathematical practices, and these practices are what make the Common Core state standards very rigorous. There are 8 practices in all. You'll be getting more information on those as the year progresses, if you haven't already, from your principal or administrator. The practices mentioned in the unit are only suggestions. You can use and adjust the practices to your own style of teaching. In my opinion, I wouldn't even try to use all 8 practices in one lesson, or that lesson would take 2 or 3 weeks to complete. So just use your best judgment, and you may only use a few during the lesson for the students. As you see here, we have a 6th grade math alignment. This is the standard itself over here. So number sense, expressions, and equations. Here is just a brief description of the standard. You can look at the unpacked standards in the unit to give you a full force of what that standard wants you to do, and a great explanation. Over here is what chapter it aligns to. If you see needs more examples, that means that the book gives you a couple but not really a lot. So you may want to use some other resources that you have, or that that you've had in the past and now can use again. Okay, we have an actual 3rd grade quarter in front of us. The domain is number in base 10. There's a cluster of place value, addition, and subtraction. We have vocabulary. Now this vocabulary, you can use as much of that as you'd like. You can use as little of that as you'd like. You can add more in, take some out, whatever you want to do. Here's the standard. This means 3, numbers in base 10. This is the first standard. Here are the mathematical practices. Over in this area is the instructional objectives, the I will, I can statements. And then right there are the resources. And if you when you get this electronically, you can click on this link and it'll take you to the website that will give you the lesson in a PDF or an activity. And you can print it out, send it to Digital Storefront, or whatever you want to do with it. If you have something that you've been teaching for a long time and you think, you know what, Rowdy, I really don't like that one, so I'm not going to use that one, but I love this one down here, you're not going to hurt my feelings. Basically, guys, just use what you're comfortable with, use what you know that works. I've only put these in here just for examples and extra resources for you. So, just use your best judgment. Here we have the mathematical practices again, and these are the practices that make the Common Core standards very rigorous and help you to take the lesson further in depth. These are grade specific. As you can see here, it says in 3rd grade. So if you're in 6th grade, it's going to say in 6th grade or what have you. And as I scroll down a little bit here, you can see that there are 8 of them, and there are 8 of them for all grade levels. Each of these, like number 4 here, is Model with Mathematics. It's going to be the same for all grade levels. So in 1st grade, you're going to have Model with Mathematics. In 5th grade, you're going to have number 4 is Model with Mathematics. 7th grade, Model with Mathematics, and so forth. So the titles of these don't change, but some of the the meat and potatoes of them do change a little bit according to your grade level. And again, these are up to you on how you want to use all of these in your lesson. This page here is just a different way of showing you the mathematical practices. Here's number 1 again, number 2, reason abstractly and quantitatively. And over here on the right, you'll notice that these are questions to develop mathematical thinking. These are like the question stems or the sentence starters. And you'll see that there are some for each and every mathematical practice. And these are just to help you in your lesson itself. Here we have the critical areas for mathematics in 3rd grade, and this page is basically what the Common Core has deemed very important and to focus on for the specific grade level. So, depending on your grade level, these areas will be different. Here we have the performance task for 3rd grade. It's basically made up of the standards that were in the transitional unit. If I scroll down here, it'll give you some of the mathematical practices that should be in there. For each grade level, these will be different. On this next slide, you'll see the actual performance task itself, and most of them are not very long. It's just trying to gather information of what the kids have learned over that unit. So, just depending on your grade level, some of these may be longer, some of them may be shorter. It just depends. Now, if you have something that you think would be better than this and would stay true to the standards that were in that transitional unit, please feel free to use something that you've already created or that you think would be a better fit for your style of teaching. Also in the unit, I've provided extra classwork, extra homework, as you can see. Some of them are very simple, some of them are more in-depth. Some of them will be story problems, some of them will be just fill in the blank, constructed response, things like that. So, and these extra problems that are given to you again are just examples. If you have others, you can use them. You can use the textbook. You can use any other ancillary that you choose.